Now let's take a closer look at the Storytime project for Seedbed 1 and Seedbed 2 levels. So the objective of this component is to introduce the basic concepts of the 7 habits via a story. It takes place on Other Day for 40 minutes, and the students will watch a video of a popular English storybook and answer questions to prompt their understanding of the 7 habits. These classes are also going to include ESL skills such as word practice, decoding, sentence structure, and student participation. Next, before you teach the lesson itself, you should go through the notes to teacher that will be provided for you. So if we read this, the mixed up chameleon shares an important message to students: be happy with who you are. This book's habit focus is seek first to understand and then to be understood, as the mixed up chameleon often wished to be like other animals he saw at the zoo, but with each transformation he became more mixed up. In the end, the chameleon wished to be himself and learned that being yourself is best after all. So the habit focus, seek first to understand, then to be understood. The moral of the story is being yourself is best after all. And that is the lesson we want to teach our students as we move through this component and related to the habit itself. Next, the steps for conducting the storytime class. Preparation. So before the lesson begins, you'd want to ensure that all desks can easily see the TV. You would load the PowerPoint and make it full screen. I would also suggest downloading the PowerPoint, as sometimes the Wi-Fi is not very good. So if you download the PowerPoint, you can play the videos offline. Then you would read through the notes to teacher slide to help identify the moral of the story, how it links to the 7 habits, and prepare the additional arts and crafts that are provided and linked to the story time itself. When you arrive at the storytime section, have students put everything away and then go through the expectations for the components. So rules on how to listen carefully, raise your hand, not speak over the video. After class, you will display the arts and craft that students have created and are proud of, or really good examples, on the creative corner boards only. So if your classroom doesn't have a creative corner yet, it will be getting one in the near future. Alright, so now that the boring stuff is out of the way, let's get down to business. Let's take a look at this riveting component. So here we can see the lesson and level, the book cover, the title, and today's habit focus, which is seek first to understand and then to be understood. Okay, so this is our intro slide. Now on the next slide, we're going to allow students to watch the video in its entirety here.
On a shiny green leaf sat a small green chameleon. It moved onto a brown tree and turned brownish. Then it rested on a red flower and turned reddish. When the chameleon moved slowly across the yellow sand, it turned yellowish. You could hardly see it.
Okay, so you can see that the wonderful Danielle, who manages the Leader in Me program, will be reading these books for the students. So if you don't have a hard physical copy within your center, you'll have to work from these videos. If for some reason there's a volume problem with the smartboard, then you can pause it and read the video out loud, including lots of animation in your voice. In summary, on this page, we just watched the full video. Then at the end, you can elicit students' understanding and comprehension of the story and the characters' feelings. Moving on, you can see we're introducing some ESL skills here. So we're picking some vocabulary out of the story and introducing a sentence structure. So you have your question: what color would the chameleon be on the tree? And then you could have students say answer with a full sentence. It would be green on the tree, so on and so forth. And this is our student engagement activity. Next, we have a sight word from the story. With these sight words, you can take the same approach as you would during word practice. So you can say the word, spell the word, use A writing and table writing. Seedbed 1 students may find it hard to sit still during the whole story. So frequent brain breaks like this are great for re-engaging your students, getting them moving and more active and engaged in the component. Next, we're eliciting more vocabulary from the stories. In this case, we're talking about what animals the students can see in the pictures. So to complement this, you could write a sentence structure on the board and have students say the full sentence structure with the new vocabulary. Next, we have action time. Again, this is TPR, and it also enables you to get those more kinesthetic learners moving in class. So I'd have students stand up and make actions for each of the words. Moving on, we have new sentence structures here, which are perfect for adding actions and drilling with students. Then you can elicit which one the students prefer themselves. On this page, the students will make a sentence using the sentence structure, I wish I could. And just so you're aware, all of this will change depending on the lesson and the book that is covered. Another sight word myself, which I would approach again in the fashion of word practice. Moving on, we have the message of the book or the moral of the story. I am myself, I am great. So I would approach this in a similar fashion to circle time. So I would add actions to both of these sentences and then have students repeat throughout class. You could use modeling here as a teacher, pretending that your confidence is down, you don't have optimism, and the students would have to encourage you by saying, you are great, or something along those lines. And the final activity is craft time, where the students are going to color in their own craft. And this will be displayed on the creative corner for Seedbed 1 and Seedbed 2 students. So during this craft, it's the perfect time to complete the speaking assessment. So you're going to walk around the classroom, pull students aside for a quick 1 to 2 minute chat, and then give them the grades for the speaking assessment. Okay, this was the overview to the storytime component for Seedbed 1 and Seedbed 2 on other lessons. I think it's going to be great for students. They really love the stories. So teaching these concepts through stories should be enjoyable for both you and the students alike.